I told somebody today, I was like, did you hear the Pope died? And like, who's the Pope? What song he made? And I was like, never mind. So, yeah. All right, but moving on to that, that was the first thing. Second thing in the news today, Shannon Sharpe, bro. Shannon Sharpe, Mr. Squeaky Clean. I'm not gonna lie, he was squeaky clean up until that sex tape video where he was in there like, oh, Michelle, my baby. That was a wild video, Shannon. Imagine you hitting live and throwing the phone. That's something Sexy Red did. You know what I mean? So Shannon and Sexy Red is in the same category at this moment, which is crazy. But yeah, Shannon is being sued for $50 million according to grapes. You know what I mean? Like, with an S, allegedly. Maybe it's from the same woman, and she's saying it's multiple times. I'm not too sure, but we're going to check it out. Shannon Sharpe, actually, his legal team actually made a statement, you know what I mean? And they released text messages between him and her to show this was nothing more than an extortion plot by a groupie. Okay, so I could read it. The lawsuit filed by Gabrielle, orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby. Again, Tony Busby is back in the news. Dude, give it up. At one point, he did have a reputable name, but now, Tony Busby, synonymous with jokes, from what I see. With the Jay-Z case, the Puff case, all of this stuff he's been involved in, and it usually is an extortion plot to get money from celebrities. That's crazy. Eventually, it's going to come back on him, like Jay-Z actually filed a lawsuit against Tony Busby. So right now, he's probably doing everything in his legal power to slow that up and die it down so he can get it out the news. And we haven't heard much about it, but that was the point Jay was setting, the precedent, to let him know, like, yeah, you want to slander, we're going to slander you too. So now he picked up another case, and the lady is suing Shannon Sharpe, you know what I mean? Is in her effort to extract a large financial settlement, Miss Gabriella presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of consensual encounter. We believe the video has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. Gabriella has refused to provide a copy of the full unedited version of the recording to Mr. Sharpe's legal team. So to set the record straight, we're releasing several of Gabrielle's own explicit text messages to Mr. Sharpe that clearly indicate the nature of their relationship. So, and we all know how this goes, man. Shannon Sharpe is at the height of his career. He's been doing better than he's ever been. He even said himself he's made more money now than he made in his whole NFL career. So he's on the up and up, for real, for real. So we know an extortion plot. Now, I'm not saying every time a woman accuses someone it's an extortion plot, no. Sometimes these guys are guilty, like the Harvey Weinstein and the, Maxwell's and, but we're not going to get to it. But yeah, so at the end of the day, it's going to play out, but from how it looks right now, being this Tony Busby, seeing they had consensual relationships beforehand, doesn't seem likely that Shannon is facing anything at all, So good luck to both parties. May justice be achieved, all right? But next on the agenda, of course, is something you all know. Is this the worst thing I could have heard probably all year so far? It might be all year so far, and some terrible things have happened this year, last year, but this year, this tasted cake. Our man, your man, Kanye. Yes, Kanye. Kanye came out today saying that he and his male cousin used to, do things that they shouldn't have been doing at a young age. Kanye actually openly talks about it in the new song that he has out called Cousins. He speaks about it briefly, and he tweets about it even worse. This was something we didn't need to know. The CIA couldn't torture this information out of me. I'm telling you. Matter of fact, you couldn't even torture me to do it, let alone have the information. But whatever. Allegedly, Kanye and his cousin, at the time his cousin was 6, he said, he introduced his cousin to these magazines he found in his dad's closet, and they were regular, whatever, Playboys, I guess. And then he found some magazines in his mother's closet. And then that's when I guess things took a darker twist where he says he performed on his cousin, you know, up until he was 14 years of age. Mind blowing. When I tell you I didn't need that, I know you probably didn't even need that information. We could have lived the rest of our lives on it, but Kanye gave it to us. I got it. I'm giving it to you. Pause. Here we are, you know. Shocking, to say the least. Shocking, to say the least. But we see Kanye, it seems like he suffers from something. I was one of those people that didn't want to believe, yeah, because me, myself, I'm a rebellious person. So when I see someone rebelling against the system, against everything, the structure, you know, I'm not calling them crazy from the rip because I understand what it is to rebel against control. But when I see this, and I've seen some other things that, you know, maybe you could say he was unhinged, things he was saying, but it made sense. But this right here was different, you know. Some people are painting him as a victim. Me personally, I can't see him as a victim because he was the agitator by his own admission, allegedly. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a very weird and awkward thing for us to know. I would have rather not known, I guess. But since I do know, how do I feel? I don't know, man. Does it change the way I listen to Kanye's music? Is it going to change the way you listen to Kanye's music? How you view Kanye, you know, as a person or as an artist or whatever way you view him, you know? So I don't know, y'all. So that's the break on it. I just want to give y'all a quick rundown of things going today. Even Bootsy has something to say about it. I'll quote him. Lil Bootsy says, "Damn, Kanye, I feel bad for this dude. This dude been through some bruh. The rant's making sense now. This man was sucking sticks as a child. Shaking my head. His mind is messed up. I hate having to go through this. I hate he had going through this as a child. This man coming for any and everyone with a rapture. Whoever wronged him in trouble." That's what Bootsy was trying to say. So, you know how hard it is to read what these rappers write on tweet or whatever. Brain almost fart. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So Bootsy saying that. But at the end of the day, when I was 14, I look back, I should have known better, and I was just doing messed up stuff. So, and less than that. I probably didn't know better, or I knew better. It just didn't see the consequences or the gravity of the situation. So I guess that's what it is, you know. So we're not gonna beat Kanye up and do all this on him, I guess. Pause. But yeah, very weird, very awkward. But yeah, we'll see what's next to come. This was my 15 minutes with you guys. I appreciate you tuning in. You know it's your man Who Is Dio. Follow me on all social media, I guess, on Instagram. Who is DIOH? High Fashion Pressure on everything. Facebook, Instagram, www.highfashionpressure.com. Fill out the form, sign up for a membership. Sign up, let me know if you want to come sit in the podcast or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Or just do a news story or whatever. But appreciate y'all tuning in. And I'll be back with some more updates, I guess, on Shannon Sharpe. I really don't want no more updates on Kanye. Yeah. And rest in peace to the Pope. We'll see y'all later, man. I'm gone. You know what I mean? Let's see, do I got any music to go out